Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, Chris and I will say goodbye to The Chi Season 3 with the review of the season finale of this reboot of the series that they clearly tried to do this season, moving forward with the few characters that they had left. But as we discussed, Chris and I discussed last week, the writers actually did what I didn't think they were going to do. They gave Ronnie an actual funeral. Like, they brought his friends back. What'd you think of the funeral, Chris?
I thought maybe Kevin was going to speak, maybe, perhaps. But the way they did it, I thought was decent. I did like the moment, the small little moment. Keisha kind of whispered to his, his casket, like just saying like, "Thank you." You know what I mean? I expected a little bit more, especially from his, I guess, like you said, like his girlfriend or whatever. I expected a little bit, just more. What did she say? Like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, something. Tracy.
Yeah, it was just. I don't know. It was just. I don't know. It was what I expected.
I mean, I again, as I said last week, it's more than I thought these writers would do, but it's less than what Ronnie deserves, right? Like, but at least they gave him this moment. I really thought it was going to start at his gravesite, like they had after the credits, and that be it, But the fact that Keisha said thank you, just the way Kevin said thank you, like I said, I thought that was kind of cool that they kind of like put that, together. It kind of sums it up. Like, before, when Kevin saw when Keisha was found and at the hospital, right? And then Kevin comes in, like, all he says is thank you to Ronnie, like that's it. And I was like, and then so the Keisha kind of do the same thing. I can see how the writers were trying to be, poetic, try to like how do you sum up all this shit. I thought that was kind of cool.
I thought. Why wasn't like Duda or even Camille there? Like, I mean, that was like, especially Duda trying to you saw. And like, I guess an episode before or something, like him giving him a check for him kind of helping to find Keisha. Wouldn't that have been like a good look for him, especially if he's trying to get votes at the time to go to the funeral? It was just really, yeah, I don't know.
I thank you for saying that, because what was bothering me as I talk about plot holes and rewrites for this season was the lack of Camille and Duda's response to Keisha's missing in the first place. Yeah. Camille, Black lesbian, running for mayor in the South Side of Chicago, wearing a rainbow pin on her suit in this episode, makes no effort in this entire season to help two Black lesbian women look for their daughter. Nothing. She don't show up to their house. She don't be like, hey, let's have a vigil. Let's have some kind of press for this. She has no time for that, but she got enough time to bribe Papa's daddy to speak at the church. I'm like, what are we doing with this? Like, how do you not see that as an opportunity?
Yeah. I feel like they had the same connection as Duda did with the whole thing with Kevin. Maybe, I don't know. I hear you. Yeah. And even perhaps. If it was Duda, sure. I would say Duda definitely. Because obviously he knows the family. Or he's familiar with the family because of Jake and Kevin, But Camille doesn't know anything about any of the families with the exception of that one pastor. And I don't even think she even knew the pastor's kid necessarily. I think she's just going to each Black church and say, hey, please give me your votes and I'll give you some cash. You know what I mean? And I mean, she probably just looked at it as like, oh, another black girl is missing. Damn.
But that's not the character that they gave us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gave us someone who somewhat sincerely cared about the people. I didn't believe she didn't. You know what I'm saying? I believe she really wanted to be like a politician and help the people. I'm just saying the writers made, like, that's a huge gap that they didn't see this as an opportunity to let her actually show some sincere support for the community. If you see her paying off the pastor as being insincere, then let her do something sincere to be like, hey, I see you. You represent me. Nina and Dre are the closest thing to her constituents if you're going to get in the South Side. Mm-hmm. No effort to help them look for Keisha, and that didn't make any sense to me. Duda, as you point out, Duda employs Kevin. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had a bucket trying to raise money for her in his pizza parlor. He makes no effort not either as a businessman running for mayor nor a gangster, to find Keisha in his neighborhood. I mean, her boyfriend worked for the man, and like that never got addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
where has her boyfriend been this whole season?
And that's my other problem.
Has he even like visited the house or like even at the hospital, or even have his take on what to do with the baby, or like what?
Exactly. This show started off with Keisha, I'm gonna go see my Nook, who you never seen in 10 fucking episodes. Then you find out that we happened to see him when Kevin and his two friends go to the trap house where women were being raped upstairs, and they never go back to that. Then she gets out, Keisha's found, her Tammy comes over and says, what? I didn't think you would cheat on Nook. Who the fuck is Nook? Nook doesn't come looking for his girlfriend. He doesn't text her or see her when she's found. Keisha doesn't get upset at Nook for doing nothing to find her, when she gets mad at her parents for not doing enough to find her. And then even at the end of this episode, you still don't see this dude. Exactly, where the fuck was Nook in this whole thing? Why was he even in this? Why was he even brought up in this show if he wasn't? Why didn't Keisha break up with him? I mean, I was upset. I was upset that they brought him up. I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm thinking what they should have did. They should have tied the trap house with women being raped there, Keisha being kidnapped and raped, and that black girl who was also kidnapped and raped. They should have tied those three storylines together. I think it would have been interesting if you would have found out if the cops, the only time you see cops in this whole fucking season is when they're arresting Papa's dad. All right, okay. So how about they find out that when they get Omari, they actually investigate some shit, and they figure out that he visited that trap house, that he was like raping women at the trap house. He sees Keisha coming into the trap house to see her boyfriend Nook. So then he follows Keisha and kidnaps her. Then the white dude was also going to the trap house, and that's how he got the girl that he ended up murdering. Because how is it a white pedophile in a black neighborhood not someone people pay attention to? How in the world did he kidnap this girl and no one noticed shit? And I'm like, how is that even possible? If they would have put all that stuff together, they could have took down all three cases and at least could have tied some of that stuff up that they brought up, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No. You're right now. I think what was I going to say? One of the things we kind of talked about earlier was the fact that that Big Pops got arrested for taking money or not. My thing is, why the hell wasn't Camille arrested as well? Shouldn't she got in trouble? Shouldn't she have gotten in trouble for giving, for like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't explain whose money he was laundering, because we assume that's connected to the paperwork that Jake stole from Duda last week. I think they want us to assume that.
Yeah, and that was one of my plot holes too. I was thinking, like, was that part of that? Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna say no, because you know how we know that it was not connected to the files is because Camille even said, I want to run a clean campaign. Like, so we know she didn't use the file, but it was just ironic that she said, I want to run a clean campaign while she's paying off taxes. So I found that ironic, but we know that she didn't use the file because when Duda's wife came by and said, how come you haven't used it? Whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So no. So maybe it was part of the files, but that's not how they came. That's not how they found out, at least. Then, you know.
But that's a huge plot hole, man. You bring up. I mean,
yeah. So then, how did they find out? I guess essentially.
Whose money was he laundering, and how was it helping him? Like, you don't see Papa and them balling out at all. I mean, he's always and the pastor's always hitting up people up for donations and stuff. I'm like, if he's laundering,
I don't know, man. You see Homeboy's glasses, man. That don't look like there was some borderline Ray-Bans, bro. Those are prescription, but those are like prescription stuff that you had to get like custom made. Like in a place like Qatar or something, man. That's like they don't look cheap, bro. They don't look like he got it from Lens Crafters. I definitely know Lens Crafter glasses.
No, but I'm like, how are they even gonna start a storyline of Papa being the center of a money laundering operation and just be like he's confessing, so he's snitching on whoever he's laundering money for, and somehow he's not gonna be murdered? Like, if it's Duda's money, Papa's daddy's is gonna be dead somewhere soon. Like,
I really do think that whole storyline only served one purpose, and that only purpose was to have Big Papa question his religion. I think that's all it was. That's however the end result was that you create, like you say, it creates a huge plot hole, but it was only a mechanism. It was only a plot mechanism to give a reason for Big Papa to question. So, they kind of, out of the three boys, he's the only one that has not had, like, serious issues. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Jake had this whole thing with his brother getting killed and him kind of being brought into the gang and whatnot. Kevin obviously has his own issues and whatnot. But Big Papa, other than him kind of having, like, funny lines and shit like that, he didn't really have an issue. Didn't witness a murder, didn't witness anything like that. And so I think that all this whole season was a plot device to give him struggle, where, like, to kind of put him on the same wavelength as the other two. However, I do feel like they should have, if that's, that they needed to kind of play with that a little bit more, have him question his faith a little bit. That was the real intent a little bit more. And, and as we kind of already brought up several times already, they should have not they should have answered a few more questions rather than just have us leave us hanging, like, the whole, like, okay, what was the money about? Why was he, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I mean, I guess what he did wasn't too awful because they got them released the same day. You know what I mean? Like, Like, he got released the same day.
This is not going to affect his church. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not going to affect his standing in the community.
No. And guess what? You never hear about it again.
You'll never hear about it again.
Questions again. But what you will hear again is probably just questioning things. And that's all the purpose that was. That was the sole purpose of it. The sole purpose was to question it.
These writers, man.
These writers. Stop trying to think, man, and just go with it.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Go.
Before we leave Keisha, I thought it was good that they gave her the dilemma of, do I keep the baby or not? And that was a very hard, storyline to watch. And, I didn't think she was gonna end up talking to Tiffany. Like, that was interesting. And
you got your answer. Remember, we were all saying,
yes,
like, what happened with Tiffany's baby? Like,
yes,
like, Tiffany was supposed to be pregnant. Well, they told you.
There you go.
Very subtle. Yeah.
They listened. They watched their own.
They heard you. They saw one of your reviews and like, oh, let's write this line in there right there.
But
does Emmett know? Oh no, not Emmett had to know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But so hold on. So acknowledge that one. It was great that it's interesting. Keisha's trying to regain her life. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to run again. She's going to be a mother. As a teenage mother. That's a lot. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes next year. I know that was a hard struggle for her. But then we gotta talk about Emmett. And I'm like,
oh, real quick before we get away from Keisha, $100. So that fourth season starts off. Keisha already has a baby.
Oh yeah,
they ain't been 9 months. Yeah, it's going to be straight up. She ain't even pregnant no more. She got the baby. Like, oh, take care of your baby. And then Tiffany's going to help Tiffany's going to help babysit her baby, and that is. Or Jada. It's going to be Jada. Jada's going to have basically small-ass daycare thing like Tasha. It's, sorry, I had to throw that in there because I know that's going to freaking happen. It's going to happen.
I said, to Keisha's baby, I agree. The baby will no longer be an issue when season 4 starts. Either it's already born and she's already figured out how to move on with her life, or unfortunately she has a miscarriage. I could see them going, she wanted to keep the baby. She didn't have an abortion, but it wasn't meant to be, and she has a miscarriage, in her pregnancy because of the trauma that she experienced. It's easily written off. It's easily to be written off. And I'm gonna put my bet on miscarriage. I don't think they're gonna shift the show to the point that she's.
No. I don't. No, I'm. With these writers, I would not put it past them to make it to have them write in the miscarriage. But then it's so fucking corny because it's like, what's the whole point of making it a big deal then if you're going to just make it seem like they're like she's keeping the baby just to get rid of her baby, like no, but I know what show we're dealing with, so I'm not denying what you're saying. I mean, you might be. I mean, I don't know. You might be right. My thing is that's not something you should be doing as a writer. You shouldn't make a huge make half the episode be like, damn, like what's she gonna do? It's a hard choice for her. Have her keep the baby, and then the beginning of the new season, baby's gone. Like, come on, what? Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, either have her have the baby, either have her at the end of the season say, no, I can't keep the baby because of trauma, and then and then not have the baby and that never be brought up again, or have her like she said at the end of the episode, I can't go through with it, go through with having an abortion and have her have the baby. You know what I mean? And that's just how I feel, man. I don't know. It's way too cheap, but I would not also put it past them either. So who knows?
We just gotta see.
I hope she had the baby because it'll be kind of interesting to see Kevin being an uncle now.
I want to talk about Kevin real quick and Gemma because once
again, Kevin's a man. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Fuck Kevin. Fuck Kevin. So once again, let's back it up. So he was so upset and so distraught, about his sister and Gemma's effort to try to take care of him. He's like, I can't talk to you. I don't want to talk to you for 2 days. She offers to have sex with him. He totally ain't worried about it. He's like, let's get these draws, right? Then last week, he's talking to Papa. Papa dropping some knowledge, of course you can't see this girl. Her dad found out you were trying to fuck her. And his response, no, she was trying to fuck me. I was like, this little motherfucker. The reason she was trying to was because she thought that was the only way to get your attention back, which apparently is the truth. Then in this episode, he's so upset and distraught that his sister is pregnant by the man that raped her and kidnapped her. He's so upset. He runs to this girl's house, and he's like, as soon as she's like, you want to be my first? He was like, yep, yeah, we can do that. He ain't got no problems. He ain't got no problem. He's like, you know what? Let's get to that. I'm like, fuck Kevin.
This part is where I kind of disagree with you. I don't think it's just all the way you're presenting it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's
very fair. But it's fair. I'm sorry. From your point of view, go ahead. I'm sorry. Well, why is it not fair?
I'm saying whether he was upset with Keisha or not. I mean, I felt like this entire season when it came to Gemma, I think he loved her. He did not know, but he never really had a serious relationship before, so it was hard for him to express it. So forget the whole Keisha thing, for example. Fuck that whole thing, right? He had a hard time expressing how he felt for Gemma. It was the first real girlfriend he's ever had, and for the first time in his life, he's dealing with other emotional stuff that's happening in his personal life, right? Yes, he told Gemma to fuck off in the pizza parlor and whatnot, but you could even see that even he was told, even as he left, he was still kind of in his own head. I think he realized he was in his own head. He did. I don't, it's clear that they kind of made it look like he didn't necessarily mean it. He said horrible things, but didn't mean it. Just like you might say horrible shit to people you love at the spur of the moment. And just like that look he gave, it's the same look you give when you realize, fuck, I shouldn't have did that. But at the same time, you know what I mean? So I don't think it was more than just oh, I'm about to get some draws. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit more deeper than that. But I can understand how someone could just be like, damn, it went from this scene to pop the draws. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that's a very fair representation of really what was going on with that. The only thing, the critique I do have is them having to write in and I get it. Obviously, this especially this season, it rode in a lot of big issues going on with stuff from the LGBT communities to being sexually assaulted, just stuff like that. But my only critique in that particular scene was the fact that I guess Gemma talked about her wanting to kill herself.
Yes.
My thing is, if you're going to go that route, if you're going to go there, right? Because that's the thing. Like, and I even like the scene, the brief scene they had with Iman and Jake. I actually liked it because I was like, oh, is they going to sit? No, like they actually at least chatted a little bit with it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Chatted about the whole idea of like, but the whole thing with the whole like, yeah, I tried to kill myself, and then Kevin's probably like, wow, really? And then, but it wasn't really a discussion. It was just more of like a line that the writers want to throw in there. And I was like, no, you don't do that. You don't throw something that heavy in there and just say, hell no, yeah, I talked to a psychiatrist about it. And then follow up with, yeah, and I told my psychiatrist, I want you to be my first.
Exactly. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with this show, man? I'm like, you proved my point. One, let's go back to Kevin never apologized to Gemma to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the way I acted. I realized that I was wrong.
Yeah.
I get you that. She opens up to him and says, hey, I tried to kill myself. And he never opens up to her. He never like, my sister is back. She's pregnant. I'm dealing with this. I don't like, this should have been a moment where they actually open their minds to each other and they become vulnerable to each other and they talk about their shit.
I don't think you should have revealed that she's pregnant though. I think if you notice, they didn't even want to tell Kevin at first too. I think if anything, if Kevin learned anything from Gemma, with Gemma not keeping her mouth shut when he wanted to, is that you don't just tell your family business. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wouldn't have told the whole thing about her being pregnant, especially not being sure at the time, with him running out, not being sure if his sister was even going to keep the baby or not. You know what I mean? So, and right now he's clearly in denial. If he's clearly in denial, he's not even going to tell his own homeboys. So, you know what I mean? His homeboys ain't going to know. He should
have opened up and said something vulnerable to himself, that his girl just said something vulnerable to himself. That should not be that should not be their setup to the first time in bed. Now, where the fuck is her parents? Because apparently he went back and got some more before the show was over. And I'm like, where are your parents? Like, where's your mama or your daddy to be like, apparently Gemma is trying to have sex real bad right now. So I'm like, we need to be like looking into this shit.
Why? But what does her father do again? Her father deals with like what does he do? He's a lobbyist. He's a lobbyist or something. What is he?
No, he used to own the first black bank, but now he just got money. Like he's a philanthropist. He just got a lot of money now. Like that's like he. But I think the bank shut down. But now he's just an investor or some shit. Like I don't know. He don't actually have a job, but he used to own the first black bank. You still haven't seen his wife, her mama. So I don't know where in the world she's at. But I'm like, your daughter is at home unsupervised too often that Kevin can just run up in there. Well, and let's talk about safe sex, shall we? Okay, so Emmett acknowledged that Tiffany had an abortion because he don't know what condom is. Okay, he continues to have unsafe sex with Tiffany in his mama's house, which happened on their honeymoon, which also was in his mama's house. No mention of contraception whatsoever. Kevin and Gemma.
Why not? You're married. But no, I hear you. No, but the thing, no, but you didn't see. I'm gonna challenge you. You did not actually see them have sex. He obviously, you know what was going to come next, but really, what you saw was him pleasuring her.
Chris, I'm not doing it.
Am I wrong?
On honey, that was before the honeymoon. I know what you're talking about. That was before the honeymoon. Be sure he got some on his honeymoon. So let's not do that. Okay, but they should acknowledge some kind of birth control. Gemma and Kevin, Mr. and Mrs. I like to look up on the internet and Google porn to make sure I know what sex is supposed to be like. They don't even talk about contraception. Like, hey, did you bring the condom? Something. So they acknowledge they're not making another baby that the Williams family's gonna have to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I didn't
need that. I mean, for one, like, it would be one thing if this show was for kids and you want to teach, hey, make sure you wear that. No, I mean, if you're a grown ass adult watching the show, you know about, safe sex. I don't think it, especially in a show where you see kids witnessing murder, and even shooting people. I seriously doubt that they cared to say, like, hey, with this kid who witnessed a murder and even shot somebody himself, let's make sure he does have protect himself when it comes to safe sex. You know what I mean? I think that, you know what I mean? But I don't. What I'm saying is, it wasn't a big deal to me. It wasn't a big deal for me. You know, but I hear you. I just say that we weren't all perfect. I just say that we weren't all perfect.
As smart as
and there's certain things. I remember even. I'll just say, even for me, there's certain things I'm like, damn, I should have done that. But I'm thinking, as a kid, at least for me, I was a little wild, you know. So just
for the same show that thought it was necessary for Gemma to give a formal consent statement to Kevin that it's okay that you have sex with me, which was completely.
I thought that was a joke. That wasn't real. That was a joke. That wasn't really meant for to be serious.
They wrote it in the script, Chris. All right, for them to go that far.
I'm saying, but they write a lot of funny shit in the script too.
That was not one supposed to want. Gemma, for as smart as Gemma, I wouldn't put it on Kevin because I don't trust Kevin to be that mature. For as mature as Gemma is, I would expect her to be like, hey, I know the stats on unwanted pregnancies among Black teens, and I don't want to be there, and at least to acknowledge it. Like, and I'm not saying you gotta watch them put them on or some shit. I'm glad they didn't show them actually having sex. That would have been too much. But I'm like, just to acknowledge it, that one of them is thinking that she don't want to be a teenage mother because she's stuck with that kid. Okay, not Kevin. All right. So like, I mean, they should have acknowledged it. Jim is smart, just smarter than that. I don't look to Kevin to be that kind of person. I would expect Gemma to be better. I'm just saying.
And then the question is too, like, where would they get the condoms at? They're not 18, you know what I mean? So they can't just purchase at CVS. I mean, they would have to steal it. Kevin only has a sister, and we're all women in the house. So where is he gonna get his condom from? Unless he hits up. We all know his idol Emmett don't be using them. So again, I asked, where the fuck would he get a Kevin from, dude? Where? Papa don't get none. Jake don't get. Where would he get a condom?
Gemma could have got one from her parents. It could have been done. She got friends.
Really? With parents like that, you really think Gemma's going to get a condom from, like, hey, can I get a condom?
Yeah, I think she could have stole it. Anyway, they should address contraception one way or the other. And that's how I feel about that. Let's talk about Duda, the new James St. Patrick / Ghost, who's going to be the mayor and gangster of Chicago. That was a fast election,
man. Huh? That was a really fast vote. That was a fast vote. I was waiting for that. When homegirl, when Camille gave her, I was like, that sounded like a secession speech. Like she was about to step down. I'm like, wait, what? Did the vote already happen? And we just missed it. And then I was like, oh. And he ain't celebrating apparently either. He was just sitting there like, yeah.
Well, one, he wanted to go. He wanted to talk to Jake and Trig. That's right. I keep on calling him Reg. He want to talk to Trig and Amani to tell him there's a new sheriff in town, and now he's in charge. Now he's gonna give Trig the whole 63rd Street mob operation, and I'm like, okay.
Well, back up first though. Here's the problem I had. Right, he didn't show up at Jake's hearing.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and that was obviously a ploy to give the kid to
Jake to Trig. Yeah, give Jake to Trig.
My thing is, motherfucker, couldn't you just send a damn thing and say, hey, you know, I relinquish my
yes.
Like, how do you know that the judges don't be like listen to your wife and be like, oh, you know what? Okay, I don't usually do this, but I will wait. You know, what if that happened? You be like, oh shit. Well, damn. Well, that's not the way I expected it. Well, couldn't just send call them up and you know, give them up? Like, I don't know why you not showing up was like supposed to make you. I don't know. It was like they were trying to go Scarface level with it.
It was you know the court scene was completely unnecessary. One, I'm saying Duda has no. It's not blood. You know what I'm saying? He's not family in any way, shape, or form. To your point, he could have just said, I'm not. You know, don't worry about the trial. I relinquish, guardianship to his brother Trig, and that could have been it. The whole court thing was unnecessary. I think they just wanted us to see Rose one more time, because I'm pretty sure that'll be the last time we see her. I'm pretty sure Candy's not coming back for season 4.
That's crazy. No, I believe you. I'm just saying that is crazy. That okay, Lala makes sense. I can understand that with Lala's character, but with Rose, with how dominant she was, she has to be like, phew. That's insane. But I'm not denying it. I'm definitely not denying it. I'm just saying that's just insane.
I don't know, but I think the writers of the show was watching Courtney Kemp and Power to be like, what would happen if the gangster also becomes a politician? And I'm like, this is what Power would have been. Like this, like season 4. I want season 4 to be Duda running the mayor's office and the South Side of Chicago. I would watch that if he actually gets back to some gangster shit. Like I would watch that. I mean, I'm like, I don't want to fuck Emmett and Tiffany and fucking Jada and all that bullshit. I don't want to see Kevin and Jake anymore and Papa anymore. I want to see Duda being the mayor and drug dealer of Chicago. Like that's a show. Spinoff. Like that's a show I will watch. Because I'm tired of these kids. Like I'm tired of these kids doing silly things. I'm tired of Emmett. I mean, Emmett should have got murdered. I mean, he's obviously gonna be the new Brandon. That he invites Kevin, a child, and Gemma to his wedding to be the witnesses at his wedding. That's the only people he got close to him, huh?
I can understand Kevin, but I don't understand Gemma and why he could bring Keisha. If you want to bring Kevin, especially bring Keisha's your day one. Like Keisha would have been all about. I don't know. I mean, or at least I guess you can argue that Keisha's maybe not necessarily there. You know what I mean? And it would have been slightly inappropriate. I mean, not that he didn't propose in front of his exes and whatnot, but but get married in front of a girl he used to bang. You know what I mean? But same time, but you could tell that him and Keisha was like mad cool though. So I was shocked that that Kevin was there and not Keisha. You know what I mean?
But I like how, I mean, to your point, to the fact that Tiffany is the one that counseled Keisha through the whole, abortion conversation to show that they can put their, past relationships in the past, that we can, be somewhat, friends or whatever. It would have been cool if Keisha was there. As much as he, proposed in front of his baby mamas, I mean, he could have had his other 2 kids there just to be like, hey, this is going to be your new whatever, stepmom, whatever. As much as they're going to keep Emmett in the center of this show, I don't know why he needs to try to be a father to his other 2 kids. I just need him to make some kind of effort. And Jada, as much as she cradles this useless man that she's created, that she encourages him to be a father to his other 2 kids. Like you don't have just one child. You yo 3 kids at least.
Where's Jada's man at? Where's homeboy? Where's Thomas?
Exactly.
Yeah, where's he at?
Exactly.
Thomas, right? Thomas? Is that how you say his name?
Tomas.
Yeah, where's he?
He won't be back. It doesn't matter. He won't be back. But to your point, he wasn't there to help her as her son gets married. Are you serious? He wasn't there when her son opens a restaurant. He wasn't there. But he takes her to meet his family. Clearly, This dude is not coming back.
Yeah, you know what, Emmett? What I did, I hated. I mean, like we said, we were disappointed with what they're doing with Emmett. But one line that he said in this episode that made me feel like, yes, I know these writers are doing some fucked up shit when it comes to his character. But one line that I was like, why did y'all make him say like that? Let's say this line and make him actually be hated. Like it's one thing make him look stupid, but now you make me hate him. And that was going to the funeral and him saying the fucking line saying, damn, why did he have to get shot right outside my restaurant on the opening day? And his mom, I'm surprised his mom didn't even smack him. Like, I mean, Jada said something, but it was like, I was like, yo, this motherfucker. Like really? Like, I'm like, first off, you let the dude in line, like you gave him special treatment because he rescued your homegirl. You know what I mean? Just for you to be like, get all upset because it messed up your opening day. I'm like, it just, I don't know. It went from me looking at him as just like an idiot to me not just I don't know, just me looking like he's a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
He is a piece of shit. I mean, when I said the same thing. When he said that, I was like, they really, really want us to be like, Emmett is a straight selfish piece of shit. I mean, he is.
But then the writers make you think that, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's getting married and he loves her. So it's like, it's so conflicting. It's so conflicting.
I thought the reason why they were dragging out this whole wedding bullshit was because at some point Tiffany was going to find out about Dominique and they weren't going to get married. I was like, okay, the reason they keep on talking about this and wasting our time is because in the end, she's going to be like, I can't believe you fucked around on me again and I'm done with you. I really thought that was going to be it. But no. He gets married.
Did you find it interesting that the wedding started, at least when it cut to the wedding, it started with like, anyone have any objections? I'm like,
oh yeah,
of course y'all would do that shit. I was like, oh, of course y'all would start there.
I was like, I just knew. I was like, at some point, I thought, and then when they were having that unnecessary bachelorette party, I thought the answers that Emmett gave about, do you know your spouse and all that bullshit, like I thought all his answers were going to be wrong, and then she was going to be like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be it.
Yeah,
I thought it was like she going to realize, holy shit, mac and cheese? No. Like, I thought all that, I thought that was going to be it. I thought she going to realize, this dude don't know me.
Yes. You know? Like, that was going to be her. Why did they show us? Why are they even going to counseling? They're like, we're here for your blessing. Oh, we don't need your blessing. Yeah, so why the fuck are you there? Like, why are you going to counseling in the first place? It's not helping you in no way, shape, or form. They went to counseling. Tiffany said, I'm not having sex with you because I don't want to get pregnant again. She said that. Ever since then, they've made no effort to protect themselves whatsoever. And I'm saying, so what's the point of this counseling shit? So I'm like, I don't understand, like, why they spent so much time on Emmett. They could have spent that time. Look, I would have loved if Nina and Dre would have met up with the parents of that black girl who was killed.
Yeah, right? Actually, yeah, that would have been big.
If they could have worked together to help each other try to find their daughters, right? Then Ronnie and Dre find their daughter dead. They work through that trauma. That makes Nina and Dre think, what if Keisha's dead? And then they work through that, but once Keisha's found, like, you can see them like having someone they can relate that understands their situation. Because when they went to that Tracy's group meeting, which is about women who've lost their sons to gun violence, and they're like, why are these women even here? Like, this is not your group, and it wasn't their group. Like, they didn't even help pass that vigil. They could have spent so much time looking into that one black girl, and then having that turn into Keisha's investigation. They wasted so much time with this season on Emmett and Dominique. I mean, Dominique is going nowhere. That storyline is going absolutely nowhere. I just can't believe it, man.
Nah, yeah, that's and I don't know if the whole fact that you had Emmett and Dom having sex, if that was just supposed to be like a precursor to the fact that he's going to always cheat, or if that really was a mechanism for him to realize, just like the line he said in the previous episode, I realized having sex with Dom for that, I love Tiffany. I feel like, especially after this episode, I feel like that was probably the reason why they wrote in them having sex, to make it seem like Emmett is cured, just like he said to his mom. He's like, I'm cured. I was like, I'm cured. You know, like, yo, I'm good. Like, you know, you're like, no, I was about to quote that funny video. He's like, I don't love men no more. You know, like, I was waiting for them to be like, I don't want to have no sex no more. I was waiting for Emmett to be like, I'm cured. I'm cured. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what that was. I feel like that's how they wrote it in. I originally, just like we all thought, they wrote in him cheating down just to be like, he's a cheat. He will always be a cheat. But now the way it racked up, it seems like, no, they wrote that in there to be like, nope, he loves Tiffany.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I want to have faith that Emmett maybe is a better man now. But without him cheating, what is his storyline, really? I mean, what does he bring to the table? I mean, I don't want to see him run Smokies.
And,
I give a fuck.
Yo, and why wasn't Sonny at the wedding? I think I know why. He wasn't there. No, you know.
They, as we said, they should have killed Sonny in a horrible heart attack. It was tragic. It was tragic. But Emmett,
I don't know, man. This show had a lot of this season already had a lot of death already. I don't know. Just doing another one with Sonny, I don't.
It's better. It's better than Emmett stealing the restaurant from him. I mean, I don't have any, any goodwill towards Emmett because of that. I mean, so
yeah, I really don't understand why they didn't write it in to make it look like Sonny passed on the play. I have to think the whole Sonny, the Sonny plot line is going to have to come back. The whole fact that he got pissed off towards the end, saying, "Hey, you're fired," and then, you know what I mean? Because I don't understand why instead of them doing that whole deal, just kind of be like, I'm losing the place. All right, if you think you're a tough shot, all right, here's the keys. Like, why wouldn't you write it like that? Why wouldn't you write it like that unless the whole Sonny thing is going to come back? So I just have to think that the Sonny thing has to come back.
Once again, you give these writers way too much credit. Way too much credit.
No, not really.
You give these writers.
Oh, sometimes.
You are, man.
Hey, the whole thing with the baby about Tiffany's baby. Hey, they brought that back.
I give them that.
That was going to ever be brought back again.
I give them that, and Ronnie again. They gave Ronnie a funeral of some sort, and I'm like, and I was impressed. It was 3 minutes, but at least they gave it to him because I didn't think he was going to get that. But nah, man. I said it. They're done. They're done with Sonny. They're done with Ronnie. They're done with Brandon. They're just moving on. They're just moving on. Yeah. And I'm
moving on. Yo, someone needs to tell Darnell to move on with that damn earpiece, that Bluetooth earpiece, dude. That is so 2002. Why is he wearing that? This homie, like, no one has ever told Emma's dad that nobody wears earpieces like that. Like that. That's like you see people wearing fanny packs today. Like only one age group wears fanny packs today. Well, now I take it back. Girls, it's coming back. I take that back. Kids, you got, that's coming back too. So, but the earpiece thing, technology, let it go. Let it go. Don't need that. No one's doing the earpiece thing.
I actually thought Darnell
was married to like he got money.
I thought Darnell was gonna say in this episode that he had sex with Dominique. I thought he was gonna.
You thought that? That would be crazy. That would be.
And then that makes Emmett be like, you know what? I can't work with her no more. Like, she got to go. Like, he's gonna fire her from the restaurant she started. Like, I would something. I would have been like, okay, like that's how they're gonna write Dominique off. But anyway, Rose is gone. Dominique is gone. Ronnie gone. Sonny gone.
But what was the other thing? Oh, we got another thing we got to talk about Kevin though is the way he approached the situation with the sister being pregnant. I get what the writers are trying to do with the fact that he's young and it's simple, and that's the thing, especially from a male point of view and the outsider. It is simple. It's like, hey, look, that was unwanted sex with a disgusting dude. Do not. I was like, why would you keep the baby? Sometimes they make this kid seem so freaking insensitive. You know what I mean? They make him seem so freaking insensitive. And then that moment when she was holding up with her mother, and like they slowly revealed to Kevin, and Kevin would just have that outburst like that. I don't know. They're slowly going to turn Kevin into Emmett, man. Where I'm going to be like, really, like now I'm starting to hate you too. You know what I mean? Now I know he's already there for you already with the whole Gemma thing. I get that, but he's not necessarily there for me yet.
Okay. But he's on the road.
But he's slowly turning me into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only shining moment I thought in this episode was Papa and Maisha. I really like the idea that they gave chains to each other. I thought it was going to be food. I was like, please don't let it be food, but it wasn't food. It was chains, and I was happy. I was very, very happy.
Like the chain thing was so corny. Like who?
But I mean, I was like, they're teenagers. They're like you said, they're in a first relationship. They're trying to.
I'll be damned. I just wear a big ass chain with, you know what I mean? You get laughed at, bro. You get laughed at hard. You know what I mean? You wear the letter of your own name. It'd be one thing if you had a kid. If you have a child, then yes, or whatever. And then, or if you're married to the woman for several years, but like, nah, as a teenager, you having another girl's thing, that's...
But notice at the end, he wasn't wearing that M. She was wearing the Papa. He wasn't wearing the Maisha.
So you think he was just spitting game, but like, oh, I love it, baby. And we're like, get this shit off of me.
I peeped that. I was like, where is her big ass, Flavor Flav looking necklace? I'm like, where's that shit? And he wasn't wearing it. He wasn't wearing it. I was like, how does a man wear a girl's necklace? I was like, But like they flipped that. They flipped that real quick. Like she's wearing his Papa. I was like, all right, okay. But at least they're moving forward. I mean, that's a relationship I can get behind. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I love you. I was like, damn, okay.
That's what I'm saying. And they both thanked each other for being there for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like Papa was like, thank you for being there my time of need. She was like, thank you for being there my time of need. That's how a relationship is supposed to grow. Like that's how Kevin and Gemma should have been. All right. You know what I'm saying? But Kevin, too fast in the pants, as they say. Trying to get the draws.
I want to thank you.
All right.
For some reason, I thought about this moment. I want to thank you.
Are you looking forward to season 4?
Listen to that after I get off.
Are you looking forward to season 4?
I'm already here, so.
You committed? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I mean, like, I will say season 3 brought a different dynamic with Keisha being missing. So yeah, they had some good highlights of it. I you know what? Actually, yes, and I'll tell you why. I really do strongly believe season 3 was slightly derailed as far as the writing goes because of the forced departure of these two behind me. These two. So I really do feel like they had to scramble at the last minute to rewrite certain things for season 3, and I would like to think that that's why a lot of things was rushed. Certain things, like you said, there was a lot of plot holes that we saw. So, yeah, I mean, now that we all know, unless something comes out about Emmett, you know what I mean, or some actor doing some other crazy shit behind the scenes and whatnot, there shouldn't be a reason for them to deter them from, mess them up from another season as far as like writing, like as far as writing goes. So yeah, I am.
Okay.
But season 4 starts to be like crap. I'm gonna be like, dude, really? Like, cause I felt like half of our videos this season, it was filling me kind of defending certain things because of Brandon, because of them firing him. You know what I mean? But it's facts though. It was like they had the stuff pretty much written, and he was the main star. He was the main character, and they fired him and his girl. So I just had to think that that's why they had to rush the timeline on a lot of this stuff. So so season 4, I would imagine not only is it going to be beast, but because the country shut down, they'll have plenty of time to write certain things, to read and look at everything over and over again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they should have plenty of time to write something good. So it's just a matter of, for one, when are we going to get season 4? It's going to be 2022? Might be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perhaps. So I don't know. How about you, man? How are you looking at the future of this?
Again, I want to see Power Book 6. Like I want to see Duda running, the 63rd Street mob through Trig and being mayor. I remember Boss on Stars.
Oh yeah, Kelsey Grammer. Yep.
I want more. I want something like that. That's what I want.
House of Cards type level.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, I want to see.
That's a tall order, bro.
Huh?
That's a tall order, man.
I know, man, but that's where I want the show to go. I like the fact that Jake, Amani, and Trig are a family now. I like the fact that Amani was like, "I'm gonna be your mother, so you need to get shit together." And Jake was like, "All right." I mean, he didn't like it at first, but I think he's gonna get on board. I think Jake is maturing, and I'm happy with that. And I like to see where that goes.
I really hope that Trig betrays Duda, because I didn't like the fact that, like, the homie, that's what I forgot to bring up in the video. The homie killed your brother.
Yeah.
Tried to get your younger brother involved, other brother involved, just for you to be like, hey, I got a job for you. You'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? While Imani's just sitting there. I was hoping that there was a thing where he left Imani be like, man, what the fuck you thinking? Like, you know what I mean? I was waiting for that.
You saw it on her face. You saw it on her face. She's not happy. Like you saw it on her face. Like it's gonna be a conversation. Like I think.
But in the words of Iron Panther, I need to see that. I need to see the conversation.
I do.
Of her being like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? I need to see.
Exactly. We need to see that conversation. Goddamn it. Like So I think season 4, if they continue with this storyline, I think she will speak up, especially once he gets more into the game or whatever. I think they're gonna bring it up. How's Jake gonna feel about it? You know what I'm saying? How's Jake gonna feel like? Do you feel like Trigg sold out? You know, is he gonna be mad at him for it? It'd be interesting to see. And does Trigg get Jake more into the gangster life like he wanted to be in season 1 and 2? Is Jake, changed his mind about that shit? So it'd be interesting to see how to do that. I know they're not gonna do it. But I would appreciate that now that Trigg is in charge, they shut down that whole rape thing they got going on at that trap house. Like that falls on the 63rd Street mob. Like it would be nice if that's the first order of business, is that they get rid of that place and save those girls. Like I hope, I wish the writers would do something like that. I think it'd be nice. But yeah. So
Did we wait, hold on. Ronnie's killer, was he brought to justice?
Of course not.
That was sorry.
Who gives a fuck about Ronnie? Nobody gives a fuck, man. That is nowhere near gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, that is nowhere near gonna place some responsibility on his death, seeing how that same kid went to the church to see him to say, hey man, you a killer. Nah, just won't be brought up at all. Damn.
Hey, Ronnie got a funeral. You know who didn't show up? Fucking Common. The first man who tried to.
Well, yeah. See, and I was about to bring that up in the video too. I was about to bring that up, and then I realized, well, for one, we were talking about how he kind of took to the back seat, and you were saying like, he went from being Muslim to become Muslim to Christian. So I guess it would kind of make sense that he would not. I mean, maybe not be there enough. I mean, well, unless they get a different actor for one, because these actors cost money, man. There's a reason why Lala was only a few episodes and whatnot. I mean, I'm not saying Lala's an A-lister, but she's only in a couple. I mean, Lena probably asked for her own pay cut, but like, yo, I created a damn show. You want to pay me even more for this shit? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm saying he didn't have to.
And then you get one like Common on there. Shit.
He didn't have to speak. He could have been in the back nodding to Allah or something, just to be like, they remember that his first effort to find the Lord was actually, the Nation of Islam. And like it was.
I thought you said season 1 and 2 never existed though.
Oh my bad. All right, man. Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, matter of fact, where is he at?
Touche.
He understood that Ron. He understood that Ronnie towards the end when he got out of prison was like, okay, all right, I understand. Like, all right, you do feel sorry for who you think.
My bad.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna actually stay right here because we got all these characters that we're no longer going to see.
Yeah.
So, this is the past. This is the last time I ever.
That's the past.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's our review of this season 3. What'd you think of season 3? Will you be with us for season 4? What are your predictions for season 4? Who do you want to see back? What kind of new storylines you think they're gonna get into? What new characters? What new actors do you think you want to see in season 4? Please let us know.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and we will be back next year whenever the quarantine's over.
I know, right? All right, we'll see.
Later, guys.